All right, we're going to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart. When you think of a disability in children, you may only think about what you can see, right? But not what you hear. But roughly 5% of children have noticeable speech disorders by the time they're in the first grade. But how do you know? And more importantly, how can you help? Well, Melissa Halpern, a speech pathologist, is here to tell us more. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning.
Now, I explained to you, we have a son with autism. And so because of that, we know about early intervention and how important it is. And we noticed a stutter in my daughter when she was about 3 and instantly got her into services. So what are some signs? How can people tell if there's something they need to worry about?
Well, I think in early infancy, if a child is not interacting socially, that would be a flag. If by about age 1, a child is not seeming to be able to understand you, and by age 3 or 4, if they're having a lot of sound errors or are unable to follow directions, those are all flags. But ASHA has come out with a campaign called identifythesigns.org, and it has a very comprehensive list of all of the signs and ways to detect early speech, language, and hearing disorders. So
now some of these signs, what can they be indicative of besides like something like a stutter, which is pretty clear? What are some of these other things? Like when you say sound error, what does that mean?
You know, like a W for an R, like wabbit, and for rabbit, that's common. You can have an articulation issue. You can have an expressive language issue where a child understands everything that's being said to them but is not able to express themselves equal to what they're understanding. You can have it the other way as well, where a child expresses themselves fairly well but isn't really understanding everything that they're saying. There can be processing issues where a child can hear just fine and would pass a hearing screen, but the way that they process information, or there might be a delay in their ability to understand information, could cause difficulty following directions.
Tell us a little bit. Now, this is huge because so many people, I hear it a lot with autism, you think your kids are going to catch up. You think you can just sort of wait it out. Why is early intervention so important?
Well, all of our research shows that unlike other disabilities, with early detection, we can actually reduce, minimize, and in some cases reverse the communication difference, as well as the efficacy studies show that the earlier that we start, the more effective the treatment is, the less expensive the treatment is. It can minimize later academic difficulties, social isolation.
And you mentioned on the website, now once you've identified some signs and it looks like your kiddo might need some help, it can pinpoint you to some resources. I know where I live in Frisco, we actually have a whole school called the Early Childhood School where the school district provides services. So what can people do once they find out there's an issue? Well,
definitely I would go on to the website, because there is on the homepage, find a professional, and it will help you locate a speech pathologist or an audiologist in your geographical area. Every city and their resources are a little bit different, and so if you go on, you can find what resources are available to you in your city. There are a lot of cities here that do have early childhood schools. There's early childhood intervention as well.
So what we've typically done is gone through a school district or something like that. We've also done private. Both work wonderfully. Where can people find out more information about the services you provide?
You can find me on the identifythesign.org website, as well as on the American Speech, Language, and Hearing Association, Find a Provider. Either of those websites I'm listed on.
So I always think it's so great to talk to therapists about how rewarding it is to see these kiddos when they first come to you. And next thing you know, they're processing, they're speaking. So what's that like for you?
Oh, it's wonderful. Truthfully, I have the best job. We get to see so many kids who start off with delays, who by kindergarten are indistinguishable, it's undetectable, they need no services, they're completely finished, and I always tell them, just send me a Christmas card so I know how you're doing. But
now tell me the website one more time.
IdentifyTheSigns.org.
Okay, you guys make sure you check it out. We've put some resources up on our website for you to check out. Just go to thebroadcasttv.com and click on today's links. Next, we're headed over to our Broadcast Music Cafe, where a young lady is standing by to wow you with her voice. Make sure you stick around.
Of dreams I see, REM is my normalcy. Shooting stars align my skies. treasuring my true tide.